Good morning or afternoon. Welcome back to Ascendria Tarot. My name is Caitlin. I am co-owner of Ascendria here in Polson, Montana. Updates we have for this month, really. We have the Cherry Festival going on in Polson on Main Street at the end of this month. And we will have 2 different tea blends on what am I trying to say? We will have 2 tea blends brewed for sampling. It will be cherry, and flathead cherry. Obviously for the Cherry Festival. As far as this week goes, we will be closed Saturday. We are heading up to Kalispell to attend a event that our tea distributors are putting on. It'll be at Nerdy Girl, and they're doing they used to call it tea tasting, but they're changing it up and they're doing a tea social this time. They're going to have games, they're going to have, obviously, tea. So if you're local and you're free on Saturday, come with us, come join us. That's all the updates I have. A disclaimer, anytime you're watching a tarot reading, take what resonates and leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, don't try to force it to fit within your life. It just might not be for you. And you'll know if it's for you or not. The other thing is, if you're not familiar with astrology, we have all 12 signs within our chart. Some are a little bit more potent than others because they have planets in them. Like, I have Leo in the 12th house, but I have the Sun, I have Mercury, I have Venus, and the North Node all within that 12th house in Leo. So I have a lot of Leo, and I have a very, very rich inner world. But my 8th house with Aries, I don't have anything there. But that Aries being in the 8th house still affects my shared resources. So if this reading isn't resonating, try a different one. Sometimes I'll watch my sun sign, Leo, I'll watch that one. If it's not resonating, I'll switch over to earth signs or Virgo for my rising sign. See if that one resonates. If that one's not jiving, I'll go and watch Scorpio or water for my moon sign and see if that resonates. Usually 1 out of the 3 will hit home with me, and other times none of them will. And that usually says to me I need to break out my deck and just do my own. This one is for earth signs. I almost said water. I'm doing things a little different. Normally I do it in one long continuous video and I just do timestamps. This time I'm going to try doing 4 separate videos. So if this one isn't resonating and you want a different element, go ahead and switch over to the channel. They should all be there. So without further ado, let's get into the earth reading. This is the Earth Wisdom deck, which I always think is poetic to use for the earth signs. It just works. One thing I didn't notice, I have so I have this deck, and it's by Barbara Moore, and then I also have the Hidden Realm tarot deck, and I didn't realize that was by the same person. Apparently I really like Barbara Moore's work. Okay. What do we have going on for earth signs this week? What do we have for earth signs for this week? Oh my goodness. Careful. Could have started a fire. This is not the fire reading, this is the earth reading. Okay. What messages do we have for earth signs? For Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Also, I forgot to add in the air signs reading. Shout out to Inner Balance Meditation on YouTube. They have great meditation ambience. I love their videos. This one is Sacred Priestess, Release Hurt, Emotional Balance, and Clarity Mind. Not exactly grammatically correct, but we'll roll with it. So the first card out for you, Earth signs, is Awareness. And awareness is the first step in anything, right? Right. Move that over just a little bit. Okay. What else do we have for Earth signs? Okay. Prosperity. It's hard to see with the lighting. I did do something new with my lighting this time. Let me know how it is, how we like it. Do we like more light? Do we like this cozy vibes? Comment, let me know. Let's get one more for Earth signs. One more card for Earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Ooh. What do we have for Earth signs? Clarity. Nice. So awareness, prosperity, and clarity. The one thing that's drawing me in is like these ones are very similar colors. This is the only one that has like a different color scheme. Which, I mean, it does kind of make sense in my head because the awareness and prosperity seem to go together for me. When I pulled prosperity, it kind of reminded me of, during the summer solstice, I really had to take a step back and realize that I'm in the middle of something that I've been dreaming of for so long. So it's almost like this prosperity is coming into your life and Spirit's asking you to take a step back and really be aware of it. Have gratitude for it. Really, notice that you're standing in the middle of something that you were asking for so long ago. I don't know what's going on with the clarity though. For the tarot deck, we are using the Light Seers Tarot. And if you want me to link my decks below, I will. I absolutely can. Just let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. I just haven't been doing it because I don't know if there's any interest there. That was quick. The Nine of Cups. I feel like that goes with prosperity. The Nine of Cups is like, the 9 is just before the 10, so it's like it's almost this vibe of like you're almost there, because the 10 is a culmination. It's the end of something and the beginning of something new. But the 9 of Cups says you're almost there, and within Cups being emotion and intuition, especially with like this light coming out of her chest. I don't know if you can see that. Just barely. But it's almost like your heart center is just so open right now. I think that goes with prosperity. Tell me more about prosperity and Nine of Cups. Wow. Five of Swords. Oof. Five of Swords. Swords being the mind, thinking, communication. Fives are usually conflict, challenges, like friction. And this says to me there's either thoughts of limiting belief or self-doubt. Just a lot of negative thought patterns that are hurtful. But with the Nine of Cups, it's almost like you're in the middle of a dream. You're in the middle of prosperity and abundance. And you're almost there, but it's like it's almost like you're not seeing it, or a good example would be, like I've said in the past 2 readings for fire and air. Yesterday was a really hard day for me because we didn't have any customers, and anybody who's running a small business knows that can be very discouraging. So it's almost like you're in the middle of your dream and you're growing, you're progressing, but you still have these thoughts of self-doubt. Tell me about awareness. How many is that? 3? Okay. So we have the Hanged Man, which would make sense with awareness. Hanged Man is usually a different perspective. It says if it's not working, look at it from a different angle. Get a different perspective on it. And then 3 of Wands. This is like it's waiting for your ship to come in. It is a manifestation card, but it's like sitting here waiting, patiently or impatiently. Either way, it is waiting. And then 4 of Cups. This is like kind of apathy, boredom. It's, she's got all of these empty cups over here, and that's the direction that she's looking in, kind of thinking, oh, I want this and I want that, but I don't have it. And yet she's got this bowl of beautiful, bright colors, and she doesn't even see it. She's not even looking at it. which goes to this prosperity of like, you have it. You have all of this color, and you're just choosing not to see it. You're not seeing all the good that's coming from it. You're still waiting for something more to happen. You know, something that I had to remind myself yesterday is this sort of work, starting a small business, it doesn't happen overnight. You have to allow it time to grow. One thing with the Hanged Man, if you do have a lot of those self-doubt, limiting beliefs, and thought patterns, the Hanged Man could speak to taking those thoughts and that mindset and reframing it. Yeah. Tell me about clarity. Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands speaks of burdens, of carrying too much. And this could either be physically, like you have a lot on your plate, or it could be emotional, just have a lot of past baggage that you're carrying with you that needs to be released. With clarity. Tell me more about the Ten of Wands. It could speak towards, you know, especially with Wands being passion, and this is kind of looking like a, if it's not a new business or small business, it could be more like just the start of something new for you, like a hobby, or I have no idea. You know, maybe a new job. Maybe it's not a small business that you're creating, but maybe it's a new job. The Ten of Wands could speak towards carrying too much within that venture. And then the Hermit. The Hermit is a very intentional self-isolation, to be able to hear yourself and spirit or God, the universe. But it's an isolation to hear yourself and spirit better. I could almost see this as doing a little bit of shadow work, in having some alone and quiet time to work through some of those burdens and the weight that you're carrying, and some of these self-deprecating thoughts, figuring out where they come from, why they're there, and then taking the time to reframe them. It's almost like, you know, like I said, awareness is the first step. Awareness is always the first step. So recognize when these thoughts around whatever prosperity is coming into your life, whenever those whenever those thoughts of self-doubt creep in, recognize them, be aware of them, and then gain clarity on them. Figure out where they're coming from, invite them in, sit down with them, have a cup of tea with them, and ask them questions. Where did you come from? When did I first feel this, or when did I first think this? And how can I reframe these thoughts. I'm coming back to the reframing these thoughts. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, or not understanding what I'm meaning by that, it's the difference between saying, ugh, we only had one customer today, versus, well, hey, we had one customer today. That's better than zero. It's shifting those thoughts into being discouraging into something encouraging. My heart goes out for you, Earth signs. It is very hard when we start something new, and when we don't have, when you have a day where you either don't have customers, or nobody sees your post or likes it, or just whatever, when you don't have a lot of interaction in whatever new prosperity you're calling in, it can start to feel like nobody cares. But if nobody else cares, I care. That could almost be like with the Four of Cups, that could almost be like feeling like nobody cares. And you have like this one person that cares a lot. And it's like, no, but I want everybody to care. But it's like, but you have this one person that cares a lot. Maybe have just a little bit of gratitude for them. Okay. Let's get the animals out on the table. Get some advice for this spread. Okay. My hands are very tiny, and this deck is very big. Whoa. I didn't even say anything. I didn't ask. Okay, what advice do we have for Earth signs regarding this spread? Giraffe spirit. See the big picture. It's just one day. When you're ready, you will pick yourself back up. And I think you do see the big picture. I think you do see that, this new venture is going to lead to good things. But those days, those discouraging days, they're hard. And they're valid. And you do see the big picture. It's just, those days are hard, and that's understandable. And when you're ready, you will pick yourself back up. Sometimes we just need to have a moment of, this fucking sucks. Yeah. Well, Earth signs, I hope that was clarifying or confirm words. I hope that was either clarifying or confirming for you. If you're local, don't forget Tea Social on Saturday. Go ahead and join us if you're free. For my non-locals, don't forget to check out our Facebook page and book a reading. I do in-person readings, and I also read via email. Go ahead and check that out. And yeah, I think that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And like I said, I had a very discouraging day myself yesterday, and any words of encouragement helps. Any comments, any likes, any subscribers, it really does help encourage the creator, but it also helps the channel grow to reach more people, which is always the goal. All right, I hope to see you next week. Hopefully you have a good rest of your week. See you.